Hello everyone, it's the Model Warrior. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be taking a look at the German light tank Panzer 35T. So the T is the German designation for Czechoslovakian, because this tank was used by the Germans after they invaded. They commandeered all the tanks and they used them for their own. Now these tanks were used in Poland, in Russia I believe. I'm not entirely sure about the other theatres of war, but they were used as light tanks with the Germans. So this kit is actually an Airfix kit. So lots of you are familiar with Airfix will know that they don't usually build 1/35th. Sorry, they don't produce 1/35th kits. But recently, for their 2019 releases, they've released quite a few kits, which are actually just Academy reboxes. Now, Academy do produce nice kits, so actually I have no problem with this, especially as for such a good price point. £26 I think I bought mine, which is actually a pretty good price for a 1/35th kit. So especially when it has this amount of detail actually. So yeah, firstly you're going to do an overview of the entire tank, point out some little bits about it. So this tank actually does have link tracks. So all these little bits on the front on the drive sprocket are actually individual track links, and then you've got one whole piece along here and one along the top, and then the rest of them are all individual, bar a couple on the tops and the bottom. So if you move along to the side onto the suspension, you can see that you've got two bogies here with leaf spring suspension here and here. So there's all the idlers along the top and the drive wheel and the return roller, and then this one here, which I guess you can count as another road wheel, as well as a spare. So I've done some light weathering on here with some mud effects. So we've got pickaxe, an axe, the actual designation for the tank itself, and the cross up there, which has a decal behind it of a lighter grey colour. I'm not entirely sure why they did that. I think it was something to do with just the designation of it. So if you move along to the side, we see we've got jerry cans along here, as well as a jacking block on top of some other jerry cans. More jerry cans on the sides and on the back. And it's the rear of the hull, some more weathering and the tracks themselves. Move on to the side. Got the exhaust, some spare track links, the jack, a wrench, and I don't know exactly what this is, but I'm not entirely sure what that is, as well as the other side of the suspension. As well, and then move on to the front. Oh, there's gone the turret lid, the hatch. We'll talk about that in a second actually. So this isn't an injection molded part, this is actually a string. The tow hook is actually a string with plastic tow hooks on either end. You've got the driver, machine guns, which I think are 7.92mm, I think, I'm not entirely sure, and the 37mm gun, which is the same caliber as the one on the Panzer III, for reference. So move on to the turret on the top. Now as you can see, the turret hatch just fell off. I haven't glued mine down because I want to use mine with the commander removed and the turret placed on top, like so. And so I didn't glue mine down permanently, and so I've just got the commander loose, which I'll use for another model sometime. So the turret hasn't got too much detail on. It's got some rivet lines along here, some riveting. As well, I've put a whole dust wash on the thing, not entirely the right colour, depending on which theatre you use it for, but it seems to be working enough for me. Ooh. So now unfortunately there's no interior detailing, or at least it's very minimal. Pretty much only the inside of the turret. That's about the only detail you get. But to be honest, for the price point, it's really, you don't really need it, to be honest. A model with full interior detail will probably be about twice as much. And I mean, considering that this model can be accessible for new modelers, experienced ones, and amateur modelers, it's perfectly adequate, and it's a little bit more than that as well. It's it's a really fun kit to build. So now I've got the instruction manual here, and I'm just going to read out the little bit of history. So the Panzer 35T, shortened to Panzer 35, was a Czechoslovakian designed light tank used by Germany during the Second World War. Now the T is stood for the German word for check, which I'm not going to pronounce because I'm awful at pronouncing foreign words. So it was commonly referred to in the Czechoslovakian service as the LT-VZ-35 or the LT-35, and a total of 434 were built, and it's not very many, especially considering that the Germans excuse me, only seized 244 when they occupied the area in March 1939. So they used 244 of those, and they were used in service by the Germans throughout the early years of World War II, mainly in Poland and the Battle of France, as well as the invasion of the Soviet Union before being sold in 1942 to, I'm assuming, other nations. So yeah, they were used by the Germans, but actually designed by the Czechs, and that's certainly a very interesting thing about its history. So we just have a look at the painting guide quickly. It's got a tricolour camouflage pattern, and then it's got the dual tone camouflage pattern. I actually painted mine in neither of these. I prefer to have it just plain German grey, which, in case you're wondering, is the Tamiya German grey, which is the designation of XF63, although you can't see it in this, the light's a bit too bright. XF63, in case you were wondering and you wanted to use it yourself. So this is a very, very simple kit to build, bar the tracks. They are quite difficult to do, so that you might need some help if you're not used to them, is what I'm saying. The rest of the kit is really simple. No real flashing need to be removed from the sprues. Pieces all went together perfectly well. They fitted nicely. Didn't require too much modification at all. I don't think I really added much, except from maybe a set of track links, some of them not supposed to. That's about it really. I'm going to use this tank on my new 135th diorama, which I'm building, which is going to be, I'm not entirely sure yet, probably somewhere in France or Poland potentially. But yeah, it's a really fun kit to build, quite cheap. And the fact it's made by Airfix, their new 2019 releases, along with a bunch of other 135th kits, I'm definitely happy to see that, and looking forward to what they might be producing in the future. So if you like these videos and want to see more like them, don't forget to comment what 135th tank you want me to take a look at. I have quite a lot of them already, so if you would like to see some, just leave a comment below and I'll see if I've already got one, and I'll do a video as soon as I can. I'm trying to start weekly uploading potentially, because I was away from YouTube for quite a while now. So hopefully I'll start weekly uploading. Let's not get there yet. Weekly uploading for you guys. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, don't forget to like down below. Comment what you thought, what you'd like to see next. Don't forget to share it. Don't forget to subscribe, most importantly.